Good morning. Good morning, everyone who has joined. Hope you're all well. My name is Rishi Kalanke. Thank you very much for the introduction, Cheryl. And I work for HP, and I'm the channel specialist, which means I cover channel partners, which is like with the likes of BT. So I'm actually in Bolton today, in BT's office, and I'm presenting from there. So hope you all can see my screen. Feel free to ask me questions anytime, or if you want to leave it till the end, just let me know. I'm pretty happy the way how you want to roll it, okay? Right. So what I want to do today is actually set the scene of what mobility is, how the businesses are evolving, what sort of challenges businesses are facing, and what is actually the key reason which is driving the change for mobility. So that's what I'm going to do first. Then what I'm going to do is tell you quickly about one slide about what HP strategy, what HP is doing in this area, and how HP wins. And I'm going to focus on two key products. We have a wide array of products, about 10, 12 products, different tablets, etc. We'll come to it on the slide. But I'm going to focus on two key products and do probably a little deep dive for you to actually understand our value proposition on those two futuristic products and how actually they can help the change which is happening in the IT industry. Okay, so if you can see my slide, there are probably 1.3 billion workers will be mobile in 2016. That's a forecast. This actually demonstrates how mobility is here to stay, and the trends are keeping demand employers to provide mobility solutions. Right. So what we are going to do, I'm going to talk about what are the key areas in businesses that are needs evolving, right? So the way we look at it is workforce, workplace, and work style. So here are some trends which we see in HP. So the workforce is actually increasingly global and multicultural, influenced by the entry of digital millennials, we call them. I think it's about anyone who's born after 1983 is a digital millennial. I'm certainly not one of them. So those are the people who are actually driving the behaviors. Those are the people actually moving up the management ladder, and there's an increasing mobility of work. As you can see from the screen, it's about the 40 to 45% of execs and mobile professionals' time spent on the go, on airplane, train, automobiles, in public place, coffee shops, in hotel rooms, lobbies, etc. on the road, right? So come back to workplace is increasingly made up of flexible work arrangements and spaces. As you know, technology is very ambient these days. I mean, there's pretty much Wi-Fi everywhere, and a place which doesn't have Wi-Fi is not a cool place anymore, to be honest with you. So technology is very ambient. There's easy access, increasingly made up of flexible work arrangements and spaces. And we are seeing actually an emergence of modular team models and increasing use of adaptable workspaces, not just a standard 9-to-5 job when you're using your desk. Okay, and this comes back to the connected workplace theory, which is enable long battery life in touchdown tubes, maximizing your productivity and enabling docking with the expansion. Right. So work style. I mean, how is work style actually driving the change? I mean, it's actually showing a blurring of professional and personal life. People are not just doing standard 9-to-5 jobs. People are probably working in the morning, working at late nights. They are not just binded to that particular desk scenario. They're becoming more and more mobile, and it's actually showing a merging of collaborative work environments and social interactivity as well. So that's what we feel is 26% of all occasions involve actually collaboration, which is actually good and is encouraged by a lot of organizations these days. But in person, in conference room, collaboration is done in different ways, like we are doing today, collaborating over a conference room. It's done virtually. Again, this is an ideal scenario. Audio and connectivity as well, right? So moving on to the next point. So business is moving. It's moving very rapidly. I think you guys are seeing it in your businesses. The three key changes we discussed: workforce, workplace, work styles. You can probably relate to it yourself. You can identify what's happening in your business and how your users are actually demanding change as well, or driving change. Okay. So the business is moving from device-centric solutions to actually workspace-centric solutions. And also, I would like to add here, it also drives user-centric solutions, because the user is actually driving mobility. It's not the devices anymore. I mean, you could have a traditional desktop, a laptop, a bigger screen, any form factor you would like, but it's about the user experience, and they are driving this change because the experience is king. The user experience is king. And it again brings to the workspace-centric solutions. Now, if you come to this slide, so the future office actually, and I'm sure your office already exists in such a fashion that is driven by changes in where people are working. So people who had traditional office, when people had, if you have seen any old videos, they have emerging offices with agile workspaces, more informal collaboration, more interactive rooms. I think most of the offices are actually aiming towards it, so it's more collaborative environment. And as we discussed in the three scenarios previously, your people working from home. I'm pretty much an ideal example of everything I'm talking here. Working from home, cafe, public space, airport, hotel lobbies. You work from everywhere. So this is the view of future office. But there are three game-changing trends, according to HP, are actually driving this change as well on top of the workforce, workplace, work style. So one is the user trend. I think we feel phone is at the center of the tech universe, because I don't think anyone can live without a phone these days. And there's always a need for fewer devices, because I think I would say anyone is carrying a personal mobile phone, your work mobile phone, or you have a CYOD on that one. You have a laptop, you have one tablet, and then you're carrying the chargers as well, right? All the chargers, different chargers for all these devices. So there's always need for fewer devices. Maybe one device could actually help you do all the jobs, right? The IT decision makers and choose your own device is actually driving the trend as well. People are bringing their own PCs, laptop, tablets to work. Again, the security comes into the picture, but again, we will talk in detail in future slides. The device trends here. The mobile computing power is actually exponentially increasing. I think we believe it's probably 3 to 5, it's probably twice or probably 5 times faster computing power than what it was 5 years ago. And the smaller form factors, which you can see, you might have heard terminologies like phablets or smaller tablets or even phones. They are getting more and more powerful because of the mobile computing power is exponentially increasing than what it was many years ago. Software trends. So single OS is spanning PC and mobile, as you've probably heard, Windows Continuum, and how it actually syncs with all your devices which you have today. And convergence of cloud and mobile computing is again the key change which people want to access their applications maybe on cloud, maybe a Windows x86 application which are based on clouds, and this is probably a pain point for today's organization of how to access this on your newer, cooler devices on the new operating system, right? So again, this actually summarizes it. So mobile lifestyle is changing demands on technology. So if you see on the screen, this is the Gartner data from 2014. So it's a bit slightly outdated, but I don't think it's completely wrong. I think the only way it's gone is up the way. So you can see 80% of people or workforce were actually teleworking in 2012 and 2015. 37% of workforce regularly work from multiple locations, and 20% are actually working in coffee shops or any other third location, i.e. airports, hotels, etc. So this actually demonstrates how mobility is here to stay, and the trends keep demanding employers to provide mobility solutions to their employees. So they can be more productive. No matter how mobile you are, no matter how cool the devices you have, our managers all want us to be productive at any given time, okay? So despite of that, I mean, the solutions that businesses need have not been kept up. If you know now, the PCs are not mobile enough, as we have always used these PCs for many, many years and a long time. Security and consumer devices, well, if you do CYOD, how do you secure these devices? How can you access business applications on your CYOD device, and how do you protect it? And workflows are actually not enabled for them to actually access anything anywhere, right? So what we do actually is our focus is on actually successfully delivering solutions that meet the desire of the business end user while also meeting the IT requirements. So it's like a best of both worlds, because the user is driving, oh, I want that device, but IT might completely think differently. Well, how do I manage the device? How, if you are going to be 80% out of the office all the time, how do I securely manage it? How do I make sure you're connecting to our office SharePoints or environment in a secure way? What if it's stolen? What if it's drops, etc.? So we believe the company that can successfully deliver on this will win, and so will probably your customers. So meeting the needs of both IT and end users, as you can see from the screen. I don't need to specifically read it out. I'm sure you can read, but this is what actually we are trying to do, is balance the IT needs and the end user needs, and we are trying to propose a solution. Okay, so this brings me to the next line, is based on what we actually discussed now, what's driving the change, the key factors, the future office, how the solutions are moving from device-centric to user-centric on the user experience. This is actually what our answer is and how we actually win, how HP wins in this enterprise mobility space. So these are the three pillars. So I'm not going to go into detail because our next slides are going to pretty much cover it. So design and reliability is one of the pillars. Security and manageability is the second pillar, and productivity and collaboration is the third pillar. Okay, and the world-class supply chain, global service support, and HP subscription, which I will talk in detail. But these are the three pillars essentially help HP win in the mobility space to address all the business moving and the driving, the change in the IT. Now, if you look at the commercial outlook, which I will quickly want to share with you, not going into too much detail. I mean, the PC market is heavily declining. To be honest with you, 2 years ago, in this era, we actually thought 2014 that the PC market is going to go down and down because the tablets, the phablets, the two-in-one devices were coming into the space. But actually, I can probably only say for HP's data that our desktop business actually went rapidly up, and actually this actually relates to this data from IDC from 2015. But if you can see, the detachable and the slate tablet is going up and up. So the hybrids, we call hybrid means two-in-one devices. Hybrid key growth categories otherwise growing as opposed to the declining PC market. The total addressable market for FY16 is $800 million, but it's growing. The compound annual growth is about 20%. So by FY19, you will see probably a growth of 20%, which equates to $1.4 billion in this IT industry just for your hybrid and the tablet devices. And Windows is heavily investing in this, and the today's share for the Windows is about 35%. With Windows 10 coming in, the security elements they're bringing with Windows 10 Pro, the Windows Continuum, we expect, and the forecast is that the share will exceed from 35 to 60% is about in FY19. So there will be proliferation of tools, applications, any operating system changes for Windows to actually complement mobility growth in the IT industry. So key growth drivers. The laptop replacement is actually cannibalization of traditional notebook desktop form factors. The mobilizing workflows is actually driving automation and digitization of business process in key verticals, and Windows 10 and the new Intel Skylake Core M generation processor are absolutely driving change in mobile optimization, and I will cover it very, very, very briefly. Okay. So this actually brings it to how we address what I spoke for last 10 minutes. What is HP doing in this area, and how actually we are addressing it, right? Now, this is a bigger portfolio. I just want to give you a quick synopsis. HP are doing a lot of tablets you probably not be aware of. We do 8-inch, 10-inch Android tablets. Yes, we do. I know it's a bit of surprise. You probably might have heard of Elite Pads, but I'm going to focus on two products, which is the 1012, which I've marked, and one is Elite X3, which is not part of the portfolio because it's launching in end of July. But we also have some key vertical specific solution in healthcare and ruggedized solution, which is more field service based, oil and gas, construction, manufacturing type verticals, and we have some for education. Right, so this is the portfolio we developed, keeping all the other points we discussed in mind, right? So I will move on to the products. Does anyone have any question at this point before actually go into a slight deep dive on the products? Anyone? Right, okay, I take it as no. Right, so can I request you guys to actually increase the volume on your PCs, because I'm going to play a video very shortly. If that's okay, I will allow you 10 seconds to do that. Then I'll probably play the video. And right. 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 Okay. You probably won't hear the entire video. I will probably keep my mic close to the video so that you can actually see what's happening. Okay. How do I? All right. Okay. Right. So a bit of video to actually introduce our new HP Elite X2 which is available in the market and our distribution partners today. And I wanted to discuss the key value proposition of this particular product and actually how it will help you and your customers, etc., to address those points we discussed. Right. So what I'm going to do is these are the three pillars of the value proposition, which we discussed quite briefly in our previous slides. Premium design, which is your unmatched durability, superior productivity, and design for modern enterprise. These are what our customers telling us are most important to them, right? So you probably may agree, may not agree. I mean, they may not be on high priority list for you. Everyone probably differs, but these are the key elements, the feedback and the research we did are important for you, the customers. So these requirements are actually driving our investments in the mobility space. So bearing this in mind, we are actually designing all of our products. And obviously, as you know, we are committed to excellence in each of these areas, right? So now let's talk about what we are doing in each of these areas to address those needs and accomplish these objectives, right? Now, I'll discuss premium design first. So as you can see, it's a thin and light 8 tablet. Is made from exquisite materials. It's absolutely highly mobile, strikingly thin, 2-in-1. The tablet itself is about 840 grams, and that's also engineered to meet your rigorous daily needs for your mobile executives or if you're working in the office itself. It's a great tablet, thin, light, and absolutely silent. It's actually passed mil-spec test. It says design on the slide, but actually it has passed. But I will cover more in detail what actually it means. So what's new? Why this device? So what's new in this as opposed to what the competition is doing? We have Gorilla Corning Glass 4. As you probably might have heard this, it's a very tough and ruggedized glass. It's a single piece of aluminum sheet with aircraft-grade aluminum alloy. It's a grade, which is 6061 grade, with aircraft-grade aluminum, 8 millimeter thin. It's got larger premium aluminum pen that still tethers as well. And it's got a very durable kickstand tested to HP commercial standards, right, which I will probably quickly cover in one of the slides. Now, again, it's a great alternative to a notebook PC. We call it PC replacement. We call it a hybrid device. We call it 2-in-1, the way you call it. The fact that it gives you the freedom to adjust and gives you the productivity without losing any productivity in your day-to-day work. So you can adjust the system to view about display 157 degrees. The kickstand can move to about 100 degrees as well. So when you need to present or review on the go, the 1012 is a tablet with a full HD display and kickstand, right? So the kickstand allows the tablet to be easily used with or without the keyboard as well. So you can actually just have the keyboard, typing, reading, viewing, video collaboration, whatever you're doing on your daily basis. So this is actually just the quick synopsis of the specs. We got USB Type-C charger. We got an SD drawer, which is a micro SD, which holds up to 2 terabytes of SD cards. I was actually surprised that a micro SD which can actually hold 2 terabytes of data. I don't think you will need any more space ever. USB 3.0 for faster connection. Obviously the headset, which is very standard, power button, volume. A SIM drawer, so we have a micro SIM card drawer as well. Which means we have 4G capabilities. We have a lock slot to lock it down. Again, tether, but fingerprint reader for additional security, which also allows you to give the continuum as well, right? I'm not going to dwell much on this keyboard element, to be honest, because it's just a standard keyboard. But it's, again, a single piece of aluminum. It's backlit keyboard, the key and the travel, which you see probably from the video. It gives you a better working experience. I probably use this device, and you can see the keyboard actually allows you to work for 9 to 5 job or your different various working environment. It actually gives you a better user experience as opposed to what's available in the market today. But what actually not a big selling point according to me, but what is a big selling point, that we have an advanced keyboard, which you probably saw in the video, where you can probably put a smart card reader or NFC if you have to log in, if you have securities, and HP is actually winning business already in NHS purely because the nurses actually need a smart card reader to log in, as you can imagine. So we are probably winning business just based on that additional ecosystem which we have available for this particular device. This is what I meant about the mil-spec test. I mean, it's all the confidence you need. Obviously, we are all business users. We work in a very ruggedized, harsh environments. The workforce, workplace, work style again. We might drop the device. How does it compare? It's a proper commercial device. How does it compare in your day-to-day work? How does it withstand? So we do military standard tests. Actually, it's a third-party company. We pay a lot of money, which actually tests the device against these environments. We obviously don't send all the devices to test, only key elite products. So this device has passed all these tests, including 4-foot drop test, vibration shock, explosive atmosphere, da-da-da-da. This is a total test process. Irrespective of what mil specs we do or don't, we do a total test process, which is 115,000 hours of rigorous testing against these criteria, right? So it's built for business. It's a very, very solid device, right? So that covers actually the premium design element. How does it actually make you productive in all those different working environments? One is travel, when you're on the go, when you're actually on the office desk, and when you're in meetings. So how does it actually let you collaborate? So one thing actually is I wanted to highlight, we got Bang & Olufsen audio with noise cancelling features on this as well. So even if you're on a Skype call, etc., it actually cuts down all any background noise, and it actually gives you clear, crisp audio as well, right? So that's, again, an element which is missing in this presentation for collaboration. Travel, I think the pictures actually don't do the justice. The keyboard actually is very good. The Colombian leather bag is actually very, very nice again. But again, the protective case is an important element. It's a very nice looking case. It also has a hand strap, which is missing in the picture. It looks like leather, and it's not that expensive at all, believe me. So it gives you actually that flexibility even if you drop the device by mistake. Meeting mate, again, I'm not going to dwell. I'm just trying to highlight not just the device is important. We are commercial customers. The ecosystem is what actually allows us to do our jobs more effectively. So we got adapters, USB Type-C to 3. I'm not going to read all of them, but you know what I'm talking about. Basically, the active pen, the Wacom AES pen, is a very accurate and a precision pen. When you actually click the pen, it not just opens OneNote, you can actually configure any application which you want to use as well. So you can configure the pen to open different applications which you use on a regular basis. And the Office desk as well is very important for collaboration and your expansion as well for productivity. It allows you to connect to 3 different docks. We have a USB Type-C dock, which probably you're aware. A Thunderbolt dock, which you probably heard more and more now. It's a newer technology. The only difference is one you can connect 2K displays and one you can connect 4K displays, and it's a bit faster. So WiGig dock, I wanted to quickly tell you, it looks like a very small black box, very, very light. You can connect. There's a micro switch here, okay? So when you tap it, it actually pairs your device wirelessly, and you can connect 3 monitors, keyboard, mouse, your desk printer, your RJ45, everything on it, and when you tap it, it just pairs wirelessly as well. We have one business and commercial environment purely based on these docking capabilities. Apart from us and only one other our competitor is doing it. We have exclusivity from Intel, but now the exclusivity have also moved and reached to other vendors as well. So again, this is a quick synopsis of what sort of accessories are available. I'm not going to dwell into it, but I just want to give you a quick summary of what's available with this particular device. And designed for the modern enterprise, I think this is a key element for you guys. Security is very important as we very loosely touch base. HP has a philosophy to protect, detect, and obviously recover the data. This means that our products are actually designed and built with high vaults of protection in order for devices, the data, and user identities to remain safe. I mean, let's be all honest. I mean, the device is what, £500, one will be 800,000, 2,000. You can buy any expensive device, but the data, if you lose it, the data on it is worth millions, and it will hurt us if we lose the data than what we lose the device. It will hurt us more if we lose the data. That's what I'm trying to get to. So we realize that no matter how high the walls are built, at some point an intruder probably finds a way to actually penetrate to the system, right? So what we have done is that we have actually introduced this key softwares. HP Sure Start, excuse me, is the industry's first self-healing BIOS. So upon each boot, Sure Start inspects the BIOS prior to execution. If a compromise is found, whether it's malicious, whether it's unintentional, whether it's an error, it actually looks for this. If there is a compromise found, Sure Start will actually automatically repair the BIOS in like 7 seconds. The user was probably less than 7 seconds, 0.07 seconds, milliseconds, and the user will actually not even notice, because when it's actually rebooting, the HP Sure Start technology actually recodes the whole BIOS and brings the user to the control or delete screen. So even if anything is compromised, the user doesn't even notice, and it actually takes care of it within itself. Yeah. It doesn't require any user interaction, by the way, so it just does it all by itself. HP Client Security Software Suite is actually a set of security features that are included for users at no charge. Okay, so these are features you get probably free of charge, apart from the Touchpoint Manager, which I will come to it very, very shortly. So HP Touchpoint Manager is actually subscription-based service for the needs of small to medium businesses, because it's not more than probably 1,000 users. We are restricted to up until 1,000 units, more than 1,000 units. We are working on that, but we currently partner with Landesk and all these partner solution providers. So this provides a web of interface for management from any device, i.e. from your smartphone. Touchpoint Manager actually delivers security features, which means the IT manager actually can remotely lock the device or wipe the device, and each user can have up to 5 devices on any platform, which means if you have a Android tablet, if you have a Windows phone, if you have a Windows laptop or an Apple iPad, IT manager can manage remotely one user up to 5 devices on any platform. This is what actually Touchpoint Manager offers you. It's a very, very clever little tool. And as probably you all know, security is only good if you can reinforce it. And Microsoft is actually playing a key important role in this. They have made this easier to do with Windows 10, and HPX also invested heavily in this Touchpoint Manager solution, right? So to come back on that, we also have TPM 2.0 actually, not 1.2. We also have Intel vPro SKUs if you need to. It doesn't mention on the slide, but we have vPro SKUs for that additional security if you're in a corporate enterprise environment and if you need that additional security. Right, so that's 10.12 is done. Okay, so that's 10.12. So we covered the design, the productivity, it's built for modern businesses, the collaboration, etc., etc. So that's the two-in-one, which is a laptop replacement, hybrid, or two-in-one device, whatever we call. Now, any questions for that particular device before we actually move on to the new one, to the next product? No? Okay, perfect. So what we're doing now, we have introduced a new device at Mobile World Congress. It was a very big announcement there. So officially it's still waiting to be launched. The actual product comes in end of July or early August. And we call it as Elite X3, which means the reason it's called X3, the previous model was X2 because it's a tablet and laptop. X3 means a tablet. a phone, and your PC. Okay, it's a PC in your hands. So today we are reinventing commercial computing, a common thread of a new company actually innovating and reinventing to deliver the best customer experiences you can actually imagine. I mean, think about it, the power of a PC in your hand. You're carrying your PC everywhere, not your traditional desktop. So I will give you a quick synopsis of what it means. So it's a smartphone, stroke tablet, or a phablet we call it now, is a new personal computer. So you travel light, but you dock large, right? So again, if I can ask you to increase the volumes of the PC, I'm going to play a video, a very cool video which actually give you a quick synopsis of what this product is, and we will talk about this in detail. Right. So we are actually very, very excited about this new product coming into the market. At Mobile World Congress, we have won 24 awards already for this product, even before it's actually hitting the market. So it is a real game changer. And actually, let me tell you why we are so excited about it. So we have four things to talk about, right? It's a killer device, all the things you expect in a world-class mobility device, and it's proper designed for commercial use. I mean, it is IP67 rated. I mean, it's that high rating, if you know probably what it means. It's a great device in its own right, but the magic comes when you actually place it into the dock, which actually drives the full big screen experience with the whole monitors, keyboards, etc. connected. And the software platform, which is the HP Workspace, which I'm not going to go into detail, but actually it allows to access apps from anywhere. And this is what I was actually talking about, your legacy applications. You can use it from your x86 Windows applications, which you can use, right? Integrated accessories to ecosystem, which is again important, as you have seen. We have a docking station which gives you an access to connect to your bigger environment, and also we have a mobile extender. Again, it's a funny name, but in my opinion, but basically it connects via Bluetooth to your dummy terminal. Basically, it's a very ultra-thin, light dummy terminal. It is not a laptop. It doesn't have any ports apart from USB-C and one USB ports, and it actually pairs wirelessly to your device, right? Apps that you need, which are available on the HP Workspace, and the main reason is we are actually #1 in commercial computing already, so we want to utilize that branding to actually be successful in this area. Right, so performance is key. Everyone says, right, okay, we got a device, how powerful it is, okay? As you know, it's a killer device, beauty and brain in a device, and it's designed from ground up by HP as well. Performance, collaboration, security is built for business. It's all covered into it. Before I get too deep into what makes this device special, actually, let me tell you what is more obvious anyway. So it's beautiful. First of all, I've seen a prototype myself, a premium design that actually executives, mobile professionals would be proud to carry, and that would stand out from the crowd. Imagine if you're just coming with a phablet, which looks like phone. It's probably a 5.9-inch device, and you just keep it next to your mobile extender and just pair it wirelessly, and that's your full PC. I mean, the Snapdragon processor, we actually tested in our labs, and don't quote me on this, but the test actually stated that that's as powerful as the i5 processor, so it's a very super device. It has a bold graphite and a polished chrome color that represents power, performance, aesthetics. It also has the fingerprint reader. Actually, it doesn't show on this particular video. It also has a fingerprint reader for that additional security as well, right? The audio speaker, again, is collaboration with Bang & Olufsen. This is what our key audio partner of choice and collaboration partner of choice is from now onwards, and we have Bang & Olufsen in all of our elite proposition as well. And it creates an iconic visual distinction with a very, very good premium sound, right? Right. So in terms of that, just a quick synopsis on performance. So I'll talk about performance, right? So in terms of performance, if you want to actually build the ultimate device, you start with the best chipset, and that's what the Snapdragon 820 processors actually gives you, right? So we put the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor on board with plenty of RAM. I think a 4 gig LPDDR RAM is good enough for you to have it in a 5.9-inch device, actually. So it's what's gone before is really watershed moment for us in driving a full PC experience. The connectivity with 6 LTE modem and 2x2 AC Wi-Fi, which obviously connects to Wi-Fi, and we have also an SD card which is expandable to 2 terabytes. Again, I've said to you that 2 terabytes is just blowing my mind away to have that in micro SD card. Collaboration, as I said to you, we are mobile workers, and it's key for us. Across all HP portfolio, we have inculcated that. We have worked very closely with B&O to ensure an optimized audio experience with dual-facing speakers, create an active noise cancelling feature, so crystal clear audio, even in noisy environments. If you're on Skype all the time, and you're a business executive with phone in landscape, slides and speakers work absolutely perfectly. Right, so that we are actually very proud with this partnership, and it's working well already in our elite book portfolio. Security, I think we can't even talk enough about security and the concerns. So for security, HP actually, we have a business heritage and a strong working relationship with Microsoft. Brings a huge amount of learning as an experience to this space with their Windows 10 mobile operating system. And obviously we have security at the chipset layer, we have secure boot, image encryption, and we have anti-rollback and FTPM 2.0. So on the device side, we have dual biometrics as well, so hardware encryption. I'm not going to probably name drop any technical words. So we have just facial recognition for when a fingerprint is not convenient. So for an example, if you're wearing gloves, I mean, how easy it is to remove a glove and actually swipe it on your fingerprint reader. But we have talked extensively about the challenges of a user and how the user will actually use the device. So if you're wearing gloves, that fingerprint reader is not convenient. We will have facial recognition, so you don't have an effort to remove actually your gloves. And also we have security at operating system level. Again, I'm not going to go into detail, but it's got BitLocker 128 encryption. In addition to that, we can also provide the HP Touchpoint Manager, which we covered, which is a HP cloud-based MDM solution, which we covered in our previous slides. So it's built for business, as I said. It's very, very ruggedized. The phone, when it drops, is actually not going to crack the tarmac, but it's just a slide to tell you how robust this is. It's designed to pass military standard testing, the tests which we discussed previously, 12 rigorous tests, and include IP67. So let me tell you quickly about IP67. It's ingress protection for dust and water, okay? As far as my knowledge is concerned, 67 is the highest level of protection anyone has ever had. The 6 is actually stands for dust, and 7 stands for water. 6 is as high you can go on dust, and 9 is as high you can go on water. So 67 is pretty strong. I have heard that you can keep this phone in a half a meter water for 30 minutes. I don't know why you want to do that, but if that happens, if you take it into a swimming pool or whatever it is, the phone actually protects in a half a meter water for 30 minutes. Is a very strong, robust device, right? It's got a battery life that is at least 15% bigger than even the largest form of our main industry rivals at a whopping 4.150 milliamperes battery, and also it has dual SIM card, which means if you have your personal SIM card, you have your CYOD type thing. If you have personal calls, your personal SIM card, and your work SIM card, you can actually dual SIM card in the micro SD card slot. Actually, it takes that slot. Right, so docking gives you the productivity. It's a great device in its own right, but the magic comes when you, as I said to you, when you actually place it on the docks and drive the full big experience. This is an area actually we are obsessed over as much as the device itself, to be honest with you, because no matter which form factor you're using, you want to be productive all the time. So, okay, when you go to the office or the house, all you need to do is carry your X3 and you just dock it, and Bob's your uncle. So quickly to tell you about, we got USB-C connection, USB Type-C, USB-A. We got obviously Ethernet adapter for RJ45, and it's got rapid charging connectivity as well. The mobile extender is actually a funny name, as I mentioned, which we have nicknamed as MeDock. So we have mobile content consumption and light productivity covered. So we have the static experience at the desk, but what about mobile productivity? We are bringing mobile productivity and bringing a unique value proposition to the mobile workers as well with this. To give you a quick example, it's a 12.5-inch display. Near borderless display. It's, as I said to you, it's a dummy terminal. It's got, because it doesn't have any other ports, it's got 48 working hours of battery experience. It's optimized for Skype. Speakers with back array. It can be tethered via USB-C cable that doubles as a phone charger as well. So it's just a dummy terminal with some small amount of ports, and all you need to do is connect it wirelessly. Right? So to summarize what this device actually does for your user experiences, if you look at the traditional angles, the desktop you use for bigger productivity, the notebook for processing data or your mobile, or you're using the tablet for just accessing data or browsing, and you actually use smartphone for communication, accessing data. We have taken all these four elements, put it in a one killer device, which actually allows you to dock for a desktop experience. It's like a lap dock with we call it laptop, it's a funny word, with the mobile extender for your notebook experience, and you can access your corporate apps on the go, which is the HP Workspace, which is a cloud-based solution, which allows you to connect to your legacy Windows application, x86 application, to run your most frequent user Windows and corporate applications virtually, okay, including x86. So to summarize, the Elite X3 difference, the killer device, ecosystem of the devices, HP Workspace, and obviously, as we said, it's a #1 in commercial. I hope I have actually managed to transmit this excitement from myself. It's a one device to killer device. We love the device. We're looking forward for it to come and actually be a game changer device. And I hope I managed to transform the excitement for the two devices, the portfolio, what we think about mobility, and how our proposition helps the IT industry to move, to take one step forward. So I think this is just a summary, and that's pretty much is the end of the presentation.